We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Pick Blacklights, we take a look at this. And what we have here from the Puckerbutt Pepper Company, it is the Smokin' Ed's Pineapple Ginger. And there's the man, the myth, the legend himself on the label. Yeah, this label's fine. lot going on. Pineapple Ginger, interesting combination. And as I mentioned in the written review, which is available in the description down below, this is very fresh ginger heavy as well. So we're calling it 5 Smokin' Hot. The label's calling it that. I'm not. I wouldn't say it's quite there. This one, I guess it looks like it is meant for. So the recipe is for specific restaurants, namely Thai and Vietnamese. Which makes sense. I mean, this is definitely a fairly Asian-styled 2-degree sauce. So I think it would be interesting on... I don't really necessarily always like a lot of sweet on those two food styles, but I think it'd be interesting to probably do. I mean, at some point, I will probably get some... Probably get some Vietnamese egg rolls, something, and try this, or some spring rolls, rather, and give this a whack and just kind of see how it shakes out. I'm a little particular on where I want sweet stuff. I mean, obviously I'm really big into experimentalism with food. I'll try almost anything as long as it is not an onion derivative. But that's not to say that I'm going to like it or want to repeat it. That much is unquestionably true. So these are actually Scotch bonnet peppers that are in here. And we just have a listing of peppers, which I kind of don't like it when sauce companies do that. I mean, it's okay to have it on the website, but I mean, you can just say what pepper it is. I think there's, and maybe that's just an oversight here. I don't know. I don't think Smokin' Ed is necessarily ever trying to be, play cloak and dagger and sleight of hand with ingredients. So anyway, peppers, pineapple, ginger, and vinegar. It is fresh ginger. You can see it's a fairly runny sauce. It definitely does need agitation as well. There are not emulsifiers in there. So I'll take a look here and see. You can see it's almost like a not quite a frothy juice. You know what this really reminds me of, actually? It reminds me of kombucha. There is a kombucha tea, GT Berry, I think, makes it, called gingerberry. This does somewhat remind me of that. We can see it's a very, very pretty color when it's agitated. It will separate. This one does separate. See little bits and bobs and pieces and whatnot in there. It smells. Ginger is definitely the predominant smell here as well. Actually, we could probably stand just a little bit more in there. Yeah, it's a good looking sauce. I do like this. All right, let's get on into this. So we get pineapple juice with a blast of the fresh ginger. And there's a little bit of a backhand heat from the Scotch bonnet. It's not, I wouldn't say it's particularly high. I'd say if you five of these Smokin' Hots cut it in half. I'd say it's closer to 2 actually for me than a 2.5. But I do like the label is clear. It's easy to read. They did a good job with that. But I mean, the ratings are not. They're not for me. I think chili heads sort of wildly vary in where they are in their tolerance at any given time. Because it's not constantly. I mean, Scoville maybe, but nobody else constantly is slamming just boom, 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 boom hot peppers all the time. I think you wax and wane depending on what you happen to be eating at the time. There are some foods, and I know horror of horrors, there are some foods out there that are better without a hot sauce accompaniment. That is definitely true. Sometimes you just don't want something getting in the way of whatever flavor combination. So anyway, that aside, one of the issues I do have with the sauce packaging, let's describe that. I've got here a chicken strip. And this sauce I've had open for a while. It's taken me a while to get to this point just because I don't know where to use it. Generally, you have to use it somewhere where you would want fresh ginger, which, again, the Asian food's very good. I do like on chicken strips, but the runniness of it, I think, precludes it from making it easy to use the dipping sauce. So I've got this here, and it's kind of like an oversized, I guess, chicken breast in a lot of ways. I mean, you can see it doesn't necessarily like to stick to things. So what I'm trying to do here is float it on the top. So we got it pretty well covered. And we'll just get on into this and see what we can see. See if there's a burn to be ahead here. I mean, it's, like I said, there is some heat here for the Scotch bonnets, but to me it's on the lower end of things. The flavor, though, those Scotch bonnets go with this pineapple and ginger flawlessly. I think with a lot of the sauces from Puckerbutt and Smokin' Ed, a lot of things I've noticed is that when he chooses components, they invariably tend to go pretty well together. They're not always choices I would make. I can't imagine ever, if I was to design a sauce, ever putting cinnamon in it, but yeah, I would imagine, I don't know this for sure, but if I was a betting man, I would say the chances that whatever restaurants are around Charlotte or Fort Mill where Puckerbutt is that have this on their table as a table sauce, dollars to donuts, they're probably designing some recipes around it. Which I almost think you have to do. You gotta, with this sauce, you have to have some sort of food that's gonna work well with fresh ginger. It is so prominent in there. Not a bad thing by any means, but while I think it's good here, would I want this on pizza? Probably not. Mac and cheese? Probably not. Alfredo? Probably not. I do like it to a degree with I have used it in some Asian foods. And I think it's interesting, but for a lot of those, I want the ginger a little bit more, and the peppers a little bit more so than the pineapple. The pineapple throwing that, and it's a very drink a can of pineapple juice pineapple, if that makes sense. it throws that aspect off a little bit. It's a neat bridging of worlds, but for me, it definitely has to have the right setting. Or it's good enough tasting that it won't foul anything, I don't think. Well, I shouldn't even say that because, like, if you were to put this on tacos, I think it would be actually quite bad because I think you'd have ginger clashing with a lot of the Mexican style flavorings. And I think you would very sincerely wish you hadn't done that. I like this as a break of the monotony, a nice change of pace on the strips. It was good. But I had one because I usually don't want to ever have more than that. I like the sauce. I guess I don't love it though. But like I said, I've got some other shoots coming up. I'm gonna get a little bit of extra stuff from the Asian restaurant it's a Vietnamese restaurant, in fact, that I'm near to, and just kind of play around with this and just kind of see how that shakes out. I don't think it'll be bad, but I'm not sure it's going to be revelatory either, I guess, if that makes sense. But a very, very interesting concoction here. I mean, I think everything goes together well here. Just for me, this doesn't translate to a very flexible sauce, and I guess I'll just leave it at that. Other than that, it is quite tasty. If you don't like ginger, 100% you can skip this one. Because if you don't like ginger, you're not going to like this sauce. Especially fresh ginger. It is very fresh ginger forward. But I think this would be good in drinks as well. I think that actually might be the place. Because I can imagine this doing really well in a pina colada. I have had drinks on the show before where I've kind of played around with that. I think this would be really interesting in a boozy pina colada, actually. If I ever decide to start doing boozy drinks on the channel, I still have some of this left. So chances are kind of low. But if that ever happens, I think that would be kind of fun to throw in there and just see what happens. But anyway, it's a delight in certain applications, that is for sure. But overall, I wouldn't say it's hugely flexible. I do like it though. Like by itself, I think it's a great tasting sauce, no question. So there you go, I guess. The Puckerbutt Pineapple Ginger Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.